Ha ha ha. What's going on with you people? You vibing. You vibing. We vibing. Vibing with Reeves. Vibe with Reeves podcast. And we have a special guest on the way. He's in. So we about to admit him right now. Maxwell Billieon. You know, let's get it, y'all. Another episode of Vibing with Reeves, and now you're vibing with Max Billieon.
There he is,
Hey, there you go, there you go. What's going
the
on?
biggest podcast around.
Trying to be.
You're
Trying to
doing a
be.
you're doing a great job, my friend. You're doing a great job. Congratulations on everything you're doing. Love the content. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, thank you. Glad to have you. Appreciate you for making time. Um,
No, no. This is actually my very first podcast where I've been interviewed. I came from the world of radio, and so when I had my show with that was with iHeart, I had a podcast, but it would be basically content that was taken from the actual radio show. So I've actually never been on a podcast before to be interviewed. So you're the first one, and I'm happy to be starting off with you.
oh, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you got your first interview with Robert Reeves. Thank you very much.
Absolutely,
How are you?
absolutely. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm traveling right now, so I'm actually out of the U.S. For just about a month, and taking in a lot of information, global. I've traveled a lot. I've lived in 22 countries now.
Oh,
I've been living out of the U.S. I've always kept a place in the U.S. I've always done business in the U.S. and kept businesses going in the U.S. But I've been fortunate enough to also do business abroad, and and I've seen a lot of different places. So this is a super interesting time to be a part of the United States of America. I've never seen anything quite like this in history, nor did I ever think that we would be in a place where in America just about anything goes. But that is what we have today.
yeah. In my nightmares, I would say it was this scenario. Nightmares
Yeah,
come true.
so there are a couple of different ways to look at it. Nightmares create possibilities for great dreams to come true, right? When you have a nightmare and you wake up, you're shaken by it, so it alerts your senses, and you start to be a lot more concerned. You wonder, where did that come from? How did I get there? Is there some truth in this nightmare? And so the nightmare that America is today, to me, provides us with the greatest opportunity that we've probably seen since Reconstruction, especially as people of color. We've never seen, not even during the Civil Rights Movement, have we seen opportunities this vast that we see today to make change, real change. I'm not talking about temporal change, temporary fixes, band-aids, where a few people get to move on up, but absolute real change for our children's children. And that's exactly what I see today.
Thank you, thank you. And you know what's funny? You answered the question I was going to ask without me even having to ask.
But ask it
I was going.
anyway.
How do you feel
Ask it
about
anyway.
United States politics in 2025?
I love it. I love it. So I stepped down as county commissioner last December, because I got full custody of my son. But I was county commissioner for 2 terms in Los Angeles County, first African American to ever do it in District 4, which was called the Money District. It's all the coastal cities, all the beach cities, Hermosa Redondo, Manhattan, all of those areas, where there are very few African Americans that live. And so to be an African American man in that particular district of money, I saw things that one most people would never think they would get to see. But I come from a political family, and so my mom was a diplomat, my dad was a cop, my uncle was lieutenant governor of California. The man that I call uncle, he was my godfather, but I called him uncle. And so I got mom was United States Congress. I come from a political and an elite political structure of African Americans, and never in their wildest dreams did we have the America on the horizon that we have today. But this political climate that we have today, most people see it as negative. I see it as completely positive. I understand why most people who are rookies and maybe new to the atmosphere and the environment of change, especially where change happens so slowly and not rapidly like it's happening now. I understand how they would see this as negative. I certainly understand how Democrats would see this as negative, but they're wrong. They're absolutely wrong. Democrats are wrong. We are. I'm a Democrat. We are absolutely wrong about this climate. This is the climate of change. This is the climate of, to quote the man who's at the helm of change. And I don't necessarily agree with everything that our president does. I certainly don't agree with everything that any president does. But I will say there is a swamp that is being cleaned. Some of that swamp is on our side. Some of that swamp is on their side. But nevertheless, there has been a swamp in America, and the muck and the mire now have the opportunity to rise to the top. And so we're seeing the mask come off now. We're seeing these hoods come off now. And so now you have an opportunity to face that hooded demon that scared you for so long and see that he's not as big and bad as you thought he was. The question is, what are we going to do as people of color? The question is, what are we going to do as Democrats? The question is, what are we going to do as men? How are we going to take this change ourselves and move it forward? And so hopefully today you and I will get a chance to really speak on that, because that's what this is really about. It's about making change, and the change that the Democrats, the lazy Democrats, we just didn't do. The soft Democrats, we just didn't do. The gushy Democrats, the sensitive Democrats, we just didn't do.
Yeah, good points. Good points. Yeah. So, what do you think could get us there? Let's keep it on that road.
Here's the change that we've never seen before. So let's go back a little bit, politically speaking, right? Let's go back, Reconstruction. Let's go fireside chats. Let's go way back into time, and let's think about how people of color became Democrats, right? Where when we started getting during the recession, where we started getting governmental programs that didn't exist before that, and so we came through that, and we got all the way to Kennedy, and since then, people of color have been predominantly voting Democrat. The difference is, in those days, you inherited your political party. It's like being Catholic or Jewish, right? If your
Right.
parents are Jewish, you're Jewish. Your parents are Catholic, you're Catholic. Then you get to Generation X. All of a sudden, you get to the late 60s after the Voting Rights Act and a few other acts were enacted. And you come into the 1970s and you start to see all of these changes happen. And Black people in particular get a gigantic boost. All the way going into Bill Clinton, we get this gigantic boost. We start going to college for the very first time with people of other ethnic groups. Before that, Black people were over here, white people over there,
Exactly.
brown people over there, red people over there, yellow people over there. Then you get to Generation X, and there's the advent of this thing called MTV. Now, people go, whenever say this, people go, what the hell is he talking about, MTV? Stay with me for a moment. The advent of MTV was racist at first. Anybody that
Very,
remembers MTV, right, knows that
very much
MTV
so.
did not play black. Forget rap music, it didn't play black people, which is why Bob Johnson created BET, because there was a need for black videos to be played and there was nowhere to play, right?
Exactly.
So then all of a sudden, this kid named Michael Jackson comes out. He's got this huge record, and MTV goes, "We got to get a piece of that." Right around the same time, this group excuse me, called Aerosmith comes out. They come out, I believe it's 1983, with a song called "Walk This Way," and this record, "Walk This Way," doesn't break the top 10. Aerosmith was a big band. Record doesn't break the top 10 on the Hot 100 charts. Dies somewhere out there floundering in the 20s. A year later, a different band called Run DMC comes out with the same record called Walk This Way, featuring Aerosmith. That record goes to number one. Not only does it go to number one, but it goes to the top of MTV's charts. The very same company that wouldn't play black people only a couple of years before. Here's where the transition happens with Generation X. There's a kid in Hoboken who's listening to Bon Jovi. There's another kid in Compton, California, where I'm from, listening to Run DMC. There's a kid in New York that's listening to Big Daddy Kane. There's another kid in East New York that's listening to Twisted Sister. All of a sudden, Run DMC and Aerosmith come in, and all those kids are listening to the same thing. Nobody's paying attention. That these kids now are being brought together through the power of music, through the power of culture. This culture that no one else understood called hip hop, which was just black culture of that day. Those kids grow up. They go to college together. Damn. They don't just go to college together, they get jobs together. Hold on. Now they dating the same group. White boys marrying Latin girl. Black guys marrying Asian girl. The parents go, no, 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 we don't do that. You're a Republican. We don't mess with them. No, 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 you're a Democrat. We don't mess with them. Generation X goes, nah, we don't walk that way. We walk this way. And there you see the change. There you see the change that catapulted an America that was able to have its first African-American president, if you want to call Barack Obama an African-American president. He was technically a biracial president, but our first African-American president. It's because of this group. Here's the problem. This group had it good. They had more cheddar than any other group in the history of America. In fact, the current generations all put together, the other top two adult generations in America combined don't have as much money as this group. But this group didn't have to march for it. They didn't have to freedom fight for it. They didn't have to take water hoses. They didn't have dogs sicked on them.
Nope.
They got to walk this way.
They was born into it.
Born into it. So because we were born into it, and we didn't have to fight for it, all we know is the success of it. I'm not saying that everybody from Generation X has a mansion in a swimming pool. Absolutely not. That's just not the case. But we have seen more success as Generation X. And when you're wearing Tom Fords, when you're wearing Gucci's, Yves Saint Laurent's, Balenciagas, you don't want to march in those.
Nah.
You're
You
not
don't want to even
marching.
sweat in that.
Nah, you're not marching in your Louis V's. You're not marching in that. And so we saw this triumph. What we perceived is that we said, I don't have to do that hard work. They did it already. We weren't paying attention. In the meantime, the other side said, they're not paying attention. We're going to take this thing back to 1962. Hell, we're going to take it back to 1952. All because this generation did not step up politically. They stepped up professionally. Nobody's had more businesses than Generation X. That we have more, no more presidents and vice presidents in corporate America. No more successful entrepreneurs. No more millionaires than Generation X. They stepped up professionally. They stepped up personally. We've never seen the type of voting that we've seen. We've never seen the type of interracial dating and interracial marriage that like we've seen. We've never seen such religious freedoms like we see with Generation X. We've never seen it. In American history, we have never seen it, but we did not step up politically. And so that's how we got what we have today. Because Generation X, with all due deference, has been freaking lazy. We've been asleep politically. We've been asleep. So now it's time for us to wake our behinds up, wake our asses up, and get to work in the area where we have been lacking, and that's in politics.
I say this because people thought we was free. So when you bring it up, there's usually someone saying, "Oh, that was the '60s. We done marched already. We saying we should overcome. We good." So, but
But freedom cost.
it does.
People don't understand. Freedom is not free. It comes with a
No,
cost. In fact, freedom comes with the greatest cost that there is, your life.
you're right.
Are you willing? Our ancestors died for our freedom, not for theirs. They died for our freedom. Are you willing to die for your freedom? That's the issue. We're willing to die for the Crips. We're willing to die for the Bloods, but we're not willing to die for freedom. We're willing to die for Instagram. We're willing to kill because of somebody's opinion at a college. We're willing to kill. We're willing to be killed for things that we don't even own. Think about the concept of that. There's still gangbanging in the United States of America
And you don't
today.
even own the neighborhood.
You don't even own. You don't own the grass in the front yard of the project building that you live in. You don't own
It's,
anything.
you're
Yet still
right.
you rep your block with these signs and these signs and these signs. Still to this day, it's 2025. I was there. I was in Compton. We were at the helm of it. I grew up in that city. I am that city. No more than Kendrick, more than Q, more than Dre. I'm that city. My mom ran that city. My dad ran that city. My dad got shot in that city as a cop. I'm that city. And gangbanging still exists today. People are willing to die. Why? Because Generation X hasn't stepped up and made the change politically that we did professionally and personally. So now it's time. I call it the three P's: personal, professional, political. We got two of them. Now it's time for the third one.
Uh, and I'll say there's people that know, and there's those of us who don't know. They still more concerned about what their favorite rapper is not getting arguing on Twitter than anything else that's going on. But there's those of us that know and that's in the trenches and trying to spread the word. There's those of us, like I said, they more worried about what their favorite rapper said to another rapper on Twitter or something. And that
So
and them to
that's
be
the
woke is a challenge.
but that's the immediate gratification of human beings. Look, I don't fault anybody for wanting to take a break from reality. Reality is hard.
Oh, of course.
It's freaking hard. It's hard to be, right? It's hard to be real in these streets. It's very difficult. The streets of America. It's very difficult to just be able to hold your head up, look somebody in the eye today, hold your chest up and walk tall. That's very difficult today. They flood you with drugs. They flood you with sex. They flood you with alcohol. They flood you and blind you and make you think of Ferraris and Lamborghinis instead of the things that are right in front of you. I don't fault anybody for wanting to take a break, but it should be a break. The problem with us is
Exactly.
we live like that. We live. We
It's
live like that
24/7.
24/7. We live in falsity. We live in lies. We live in deceit. We can't break away from the. I know people sitting on the toilet on Instagram can't be without their phone for 5 seconds. Completely addicted to it. You tell a woman you tell a woman to pay attention to you at dinner. She can't. She can't get off her phone. She's too busy clicking and looking. And
That dopamine is serious. The
it's
dopamine release, people hooked on it.
and they designed it. They designed it this way. But right, if you know better, you're supposed to do better. So the question is why aren't we doing better? Do we want a better America? Do we want a better society? Do we want better environments for our children, for ourselves? You know, what do they tell you when you go into an airplane and they're reading off the directions about how the plane is supposed to operate in case of an emergency?
Turn off
What
your
do they tell
phone.
you as a parent? They tell you turn off your phone. They tell you, and the first thing they say is put your mask on first. So before our kids can eat, before our kids can breathe, we have to be able to breathe. How? How? We're not breathing. We're not even existing. Black men have all but disappeared. Where's our presence? Look at the people. Look at who we worship. We got guys that call themselves Pyrus and the what's the boy? Charleston White is like our Martin Luther King. Charleston White is our Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that's sad. That
That's
that
that's who we should follow. WAC 100 is our voice of reason. This is who this is who you want your children to grow up and be like, or they're just court gestures. They're just pure entertainment. And the truth of the matter is, you're depressed and you need escapism.
I go with that one.
Exactly. You are we're depressed. Most of us walk around with PTSD. Black people hate to admit this, but we need therapy. White people
Definitely.
need therapy. Latinos need therapy. Asians need therapy. We need therapy. America puts rot on your brain from day one. That's what America does best. It makes our brains rotten from day one. It bombards you. And then you grow up and that's all you know. So that seems normal. So we've become a society where dysfunction is normal. PTSD is a normal condition in America. I've been in over 50 countries I've been to. I've never seen it before, only in America. Third world countries, I've been to the favelas of Brazil where they have child soldiers in Eastern and in Northern Africa. I've seen all this. I've seen the gullies of communist China I've been to. I've never seen PTSD like this. And nobody's got it as good as us, but we got the most PTSD.
That's crazy. That
We
is
need therapy. We need therapy.
a lot
America,
of tax on the mental status. A lot of tax on people's mental status and emotional well-being.
well, I mean, so we look at the death of the family, which is where you should get your core. America doesn't do family anymore. Nobody brags about family. Nobody wants to discuss family. There's no man in the home anymore. In fact, where are the men? What does that mean now, even to be a man? Donald Trump, now he turned back the clock on you can't have beards anymore in the military, but he also got rid of the transgender. And people say, what do you think about it? What do you think about it? What do you think about it? I don't think anything. The question is, are you a man or you a woman in the military? If you are a woman, I have to put you with the women. If you have a penis, why are you in the barracks, the dorms, the housing
Yeah.
units with the women? Why are you in the bathroom? If you have a vagina, why are you over here with the everybody with the penis? At some point in time, this has to make sense.
Yeah.
At some point in time, the dysfunction has to stop becoming function, and we have to become functional. We're walking around in this dysfunction, and it absolutely has to stop now. And that's Generation X. It's our watch. It's our turn. It's our opportunity. Power is never given, it's only taken. So we must take power. Nothing short. Nothing else will do. Nothing else will do but power. We don't fight for power. Everybody's about money. Everything's money, money, get money. Reeves, I saw a post 2 days ago from a woman that said, um, finance over feelings. And then she had Bible quotes. She put on
Wow.
Instagram, and then she had Bible quotes. Finance over feelings. And so, if that's the attitude, and a lot of people are not gonna like what I'm about to say, but we're gonna say it. If
Say
that's
it.
the attitude of our women, that's because they learn that from men.
Mm. Explain, please.
So the man is supposed to be the leader. That's what we've all been told.
Yes, indeed.
He's supposed, and not only is he supposed to be the leader, but it has been taught that he is the natural born leader in the home. So if that's the case, who is supposed to lead the women? Who are they supposed to follow? Whatever they are doing today, they got from men. However they're behaving, they learned from men. It's and I defy anybody to argue that point with me. Their attitude, their stance today is because of the stance of men for hundreds of years. This is the way we treated women. Finance over feelings. So can I be mad at a woman now who says, I'm tired of getting the short end of the stick? I'm tired of being second, third class citizen in my home. I'm tired of being looked at as only a baby making machine. I'm tired of not receiving any support. The only support I can get is from the government. I'm tired. We can blame the government and say they got rid of men and they did, and they did. They did. Our government did do that. They are doing it now as we speak. I've been victimized by this. I spent over $280,000 fighting for custody of my two children, country versus country. I fought a country in South America to get my children who were kidnapped. You can't tell me nothing about fighting for these kids. But the truth of the matter is, our women today and their behavior, and the behavior is bad. It is. The behavior is bad. It's not good. But they learned that from our behavior. When were men this shining example of what God is supposed to be? This shining example of chivalry. When were we this? What era was that? I didn't see that video where men were these perfect creatures that didn't have a family across town, that didn't beat on our women.
Abuse has always been a thing. Abuse has always been around. That's one
Oh,
thing.
always,
But there's always been
always.
people who were chivalrous as well. There's always been
So
people who
the
respected women and did it. But
when was that the cultural norm in our society in America? When was chivalry the cultural norm, the purveyance ideology of the day in America?
I
When
say
was
more
that?
like 20s and 30s.
Okay. So I wasn't alive in the 20s and 30s. So
And
you
me,
weren't
me,
either. So we can only view it from a distance,
yeah,
right?
that's what I've heard historically.
My grandfather was alive in the 20s and 30s. Unfortunately, he died when I was too young to ever have this type of conversation with him, right?
Right.
I don't know if the Department of Defense has numbers from the 20s and 30s. So let's just say that that's true. I'll give you that, Riggs. I'm gonna give you the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
So let's say that there was a 20-year period in the history of America, right? In the
Right.
history of America, there was a 20-year period from 1920 to 1940, the 20s and the 30s, as you said,
Yeah.
where men were chivalrous, which means from 1900 to 1920, men weren't. Which means from 1940 to 2025, men haven't been. Not that haven't been any men taking care of their families, there are plenty. But is it the cultural norm? Is it the cultural norm for men to guide women in the way that in which they should go? To teach our daughters? If you show me a woman who has lost her way, I'll show you a woman without a father.
Hmm. That depends. Because I know there's people still in the 60s and 70s, there's people that's growing up without fathers around.
But
Some,
I didn't say without a father around. I said without
but
a
when I
father.
think of chivalry,
He could be in the house,
true. But
but is he a
if the
father?
father's around, that's true. If he's around, he still might not be chivalrous. But there's no chance of chivalry if he ain't around.
Zero.
There's zero chance. At least if he's around, there's a 50-50 chance that he will or won't be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But let's just say that he is around.
Yeah.
I'm around. Let's just say that. But if I'm around and I'm not taking care of business and my woman has no example, then what is she going to become? My woman. Listen, the work of the husband is to continue the work of the father. We forget this part. You were supposed to go, for those of you who believe in religion, whatever religion, the concept in all three major religions, the concept is this. It is stated a woman is supposed to go from her father's house to her husband's house, not to her own apartment, not to her own single, not to her own townhouse. She's supposed to go from her father's house to her husband's house, which means that her husband has to have what? A house for her to go to,
Yeah.
which means that her husband has to have a job to take care of a house, which means that her husband has to understand finance, which means that her husband has to be emotionally developed in order to be someone who doesn't cheat, who doesn't lie, who doesn't have multiple baby mamas. Which means that her husband, before she meets him, has to be a husband. He has to
True.
walk like a husband, talk like a husband, dress like a husband, dance like a husband, think like a husband,
A
drive like
good
a
husband.
husband, been a husband. There's only one kind of husband.
Nah, there's bad husbands too that
No,
don't care
that's not a
about the
husband.
emotions, but they'll pay
By
the rent.
by definition, that's not a husband. The definition of a husband is to be all of those things to his wife. He's to be closest to God. That's the definition of a husband. Anybody can be married. That doesn't make you a husband.
So you're saying if you're married, let me get so if you're married, but you're not, let's say someone gets married, brother gets married, right? And let's say he's not pulling his weight. He's still a husband. He's not a good husband, but you say he's not a husband because he's not really doing what he's supposed to be doing. The way he's
I'm
supposed to
saying
be
he's
doing, he's bullshit.
no, I'm saying he's not a husband. I'm saying he's married by
But he's not a
law.
husband because he's
By
bullshit.
yeah, by law, he's married. The government sees he and his wife as one on their tax statement, right? By
Right.
law, he's married, but he's not a husband, right? We're the first ones to say that a woman is not a wife. If she's not behaving, if she is still in the street, she's still in the club, if she's still twerking her booty cheeks, but she got a ring on, we still say she's not a wife. She for the streets. So if that applies to them, that applies to us. So
Right.
I said there are no different types of husband. There's only one, a husband by definition. He behaves like a husband, and he did that before she came along. I tell women, you can't make me a boyfriend. I'm not boyfriend material. I'm a husband. I'm not a husband because you marry me. I'm a husband with or without you. I behave like a husband. I think like a husband. I only do husband things. I go husband places.
You about the husband life.
I'm about husband life. That's what I do because I am a husband. So if you marry me, you're receiving a husband, which means you have to be a wife. Before I got here, before I got to you, you were a wife. I just put my husband with your wife and we got married. But we forget this part that the concept of all of this is supposed to be you as a man are supposed to be the guide for women. And the is the truth. We can talk Kevin Samuels. He was my protege. I wrote the best-selling book, Death of the Cheating Man, and met him way back then. We can talk that talk. That's great for sound bites. But the truth of the matter is, are we being husbands without wives?
Say that again, please.
No. Are we being husbands without wives? A husband is a husband without a wife. Whether he's still single, never been married, or has a divorce and is just in between wives, he's still a husband. The
Because he got them
marriage
husband
doesn't make you,
qualities.
yes, the marriage does not make you a husband.
You could be married and
Mar-
cheating all over
So,
town.
so you're not a husband.
You see?
You're married, but you're not a husband. You could be on the down low. You're married, but you're not a husband.
Right.
We're not being husbands without wives. And that has to change. And that's an American disease. You can get it. And we did this for a long time. And so now we see women have said, okay, well, I'm not going to be a wife without husband. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to put finance over feelings. And that's death. It was death for us, and it's death for them. And it will continue to be death. It's been death to the family, the American family, the black family. It's been death to our culture, and it's been death to our children. Look, you can't have gang banging if you have fathers. I said fathers. I didn't say men in the home. I said fathers. You can't. There's no gang banging can't exist. Where there are fathers, there's no gangs. It can't exist.
Father ain't gonna let you do it.
You're not attracted to it. Your example is your father. Your superhero is your father. If your father's not gang banging, you're not going to be attracted to that.
But what if your father is gang banging? Then you're gonna want to be like daddy and he fall into it.
Then he's not a father. Like you called him daddy, didn't you? He's a daddy. He's not a father. BC, being a father is a whole other mindset that America has lost. The concept of being a father is gone. We got rid of this concept, which is to be as close to God as you possibly can. And I'm not talking about Christianity or Catholicism or Buddhism or any other ism. I'm talking about the concept of being as close spiritually to doing what is morally right for yourself first, putting on your mask first, your gas mask first, so that everybody else associated with you can breathe. The concept of that is what fatherhood is, sacrificing all of that so that everybody else can breathe. We got rid of that. And that's the way we treated women. And so women said, okay, well, you're not going to treat me. You're not going to do. I'll do for myself. Now you got two generations born into the concept that they don't need a man. The truth is, it's not that they don't need a man. It's just that they didn't have a father. Because every woman knows if they're a woman, it's inherent in them. It's intrinsic that they need a man. And any man with any soul on this planet knows you need a woman. Well, what you gonna do without a woman? I don't care, player, pimp, whatever you are,
Still need a
sugar
woman.
free, Snoop. You need a you need a woman. The biggest, baddest rappers. You need
They
a
have
woman.
wives.
That's why. Thank you.
They have wives. Dude been married for how many years?
Good. I should been married for what, 32, 35
Yeah.
years? We've been married for dang near the same. Like, wives,
L. Cool
children,
J been
whole
married since
families.
like the 90s.
Wives with families. Real, these are real families, right? However, we're paying attention to those that have nothing, have no family, because most of us come from broken homes. And so that becomes our dysfunctional norm. And that's what we are now, is we are walking around blood. I'm gonna speak about us for a moment. Black people are zombies. We live in a zombie culture. Black people are walking around. We're just walking around zombies without thought, without any processing, the ability to process information. We're zombies. Who's gonna wake us up? Who's gonna cure this disease? Generation X has to do it. It's our turn. It's our watch. You notice I keep coming back to my generation because I see the power that we don't have and the money that we do. And money is supposed to beget power.
But it
Power
doesn't always
begets
work like that.
doesn't always work like that.
You can have one but not have the other. Like
Right?
like us.
Right. Especially if you don't spend the money on power.
Say that again. Please. That
Right? We spend money on popping bottles in the club. Remember back 20 years ago. You're old enough to remember this. Everybody that's watching who's old enough to remember this. 20 years ago, if you were over 36, you were the old man in the club.
yeah.
If you were 40 years old in the club, girls were like, ugh, get that old man away from me. Now we're 50 years old in the club, 55 in the club. Our biggest rappers are all over 50. The ones that make some real money, they're all over 50. They're in the club. You
Yeah,
can
they
find me
have
in the
to be.
club, bottle full of bub. I got what you need. They in the club right now, in the club. They're no longer considered the old guy in the club. This is insane. It's not. There was nothing in the club for you when you were 25. Leave off when you're 55. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's no life in the club. You don't go to the club to get fed. You don't go to the club to be reinvigorated or motivated about life. You don't learn anything when you're in the club. And nowadays, nobody even dances when they go to the club. They're
Now they
just
pop bottles.
zombies. They just in there, click, 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 popping a bottle that they cannot afford from a brand that they can't even pronounce.
Cause the bottle It's gonna be three, four times what it really is if you went to the liquor store. Because they making their money. They make the establishment is making their money.
Easily, seven guys got to go in on two bottles
I've
just so that
seen it.
they,
You seen it?
yes, and so that they can look important and feel important to the other girls around that don't want them.
And also don't
Because
have that money either.
of course they don't have that money. The average person in America makes less than $45,000. Where are they getting this money from to be in these clubs with these bottles and these outfits on?
So we have broke people. That's the funny thing that killed me. You have broke people spending all their money to impress people who are also broke. And each side is judging each other for being broke and believing the image that neither one is really living. It's crazy.
All, all to stay broke.
Exactly.
All to stay broke. No, no. If you have any financial literacy, and I pride myself on that, absolutely. And I've done a horrible job, you guys. I apologize. I've been off of Instagram raising children, running businesses. I am not on Instagram very often, but you're forcing me to get on there now because I don't have a choice anymore. Yeah, if I want to talk to people, I'm going to have to be back. At Maxwell Billieon is my handle on Instagram. But I see them when I am on Instagram. I see all these quote influencers and everybody's trying to be this fit into this model of brokenness. You want to be broke and fake, and you think that wearing a brand that you can't spell, you can't pronounce. Most African Americans can't read at age level, leave off at their grade level when they were in school. That's a fact. You can't even pronounce the word of the brand that you are faking so that you can feel important. You need therapy. You need therapy, ma'am, sir. You need therapy. You're broken. You're hurting. You going to the Gucci store. Do you know who even Gucci was? He worked the elevator in a hotel. And he saw that the luggage that other people were carrying around looked a certain way. So as he elevated himself, no pun intended, he just created the same exact thing that he saw them doing in cheap materials and put his insignia on it. He was an elevator. He wasn't born. He wasn't this rich. Gucci has no right to sell bags that cost $5,000. He was an elevator operator. But we'll die for some Gucci. In the club, somebody step on your Gucci. We'll die for that. Girls can't wait to go. They take their last dollar, go to the Gucci store, buy a belt, just to buy a belt so that they can show that belt. Or they wear a
Yeah.
fake Gucci bag because it somehow authenticates them. Why? Why are we so stuck on this? Because we need therapy. We're hurt. I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt. I'm good. You tripping. You trolling. No, you're hurt, ma'am, sir. You're hurt. We are hurt. If you grow up without a father, you're hurt. How? How can you grow without a father and be okay? You're not hurt. You know, we're not Teflon. You grow up without a mother. You grew up in a community full of drugs. You grew up in a community full of sexual predators that we call gang members, because that's what they are. They're predators. That's what they are. They're terrorists. You grew up in a community filled with terrorists on your streets. How are you not hurt? That's the image that you see of yourself and your mother. You see your mother twerking her booty cheeks. Men coming in. There's no steady man. How are you not hurt? We're hurt as people. We are hurting, and we need therapy so that we can move ourselves to the next level. And that's hard to get in America when therapy costs $250 a session. They make it impossible for you to get that therapy. You got to go to Chat GPT to get your therapy.
Yeah.
That's where you have to go to for therapy is to Chat GPT because the real therapy is so damn expensive.
It is. It is. But
That's
like,
America. That's America. So we got to take power so that we can break from this trap that they have set for us because we're in the mouse trap now. They said it. We bit the cheese. We're trapped, and so we have to take that power.
Yeah, we thought that getting our rights and having more money and getting to assimilate and being next to them in neighborhoods is all there was. And that
Mm.
was, and get more money was the closest thing to the power like that. And now it's being shown, nah, it's not. And now all those rights that we had that people grew up on, like people was born into, are being repealed. So yeah, we
You
about to
touched
introduce
the-
our really good.
you touched the nerve. You touched the nerve with that one because we were taught. Keyword is taught. We were taught this, right? If you go to school, if you get an education, if you go to college, if you get a degree, the world is going to look like this for you.
American dream.
The American dream. And now we found out that the world doesn't look like that because you have a degree. We found out that because you have money, the world is not a pretty place. And so, what do you do now when everything that you were told was a lie? Everything that you learned was a lie. That it was just said to keep you encapsulated into this norm, this conveyor belt called America. Look, I took my children out of school. I pulled them out and I homeschool my kids. Do you know how many people told me I was crazy?
Probably a lot because it's different than the norm. You're crazy when you do anything different.
Anything different? People told, especially black people, black women and white women were the main ones telling me that I was crazy. And I said, but tell me what public schools do or private schools. Why is someone else teaching my child, educating my child? You know what they all said, especially black folks? Watch, watch. Where are they going to get socialized? Hold on a minute. You don't go to school to be social. You go to school to learn. Social comes after. Social is PE class, football, basketball, baseball, ballet, gymnastics. That's social. School is STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, geography. This is school. School is to learn these things. You don't go to school to be social, but we are more concerned about being social than we are about being educated. That's the condition of our, that's how crazy we are. That's how damaged. That's how damaged we are. We are some damaged people. You know, there's a difference between trauma and damaged, right? Everybody has trauma, right? If you can compare it to a car, right? You have a car, your car is always under trauma, isn't it? It's always, even when you're not driving it, there's rocks hitting it and snails crawling on it, flies flying into the windshield, the elements and the chemicals in the air are getting on the paint, but your car is made to take that trauma. But when you get in that car and you drive away and a Mack truck hits you, that's damage.
Yeah, that is.
Your car's not made to take that.
Not at all.
It can only go one place at that point, to the junkyard. There are a lot of us who are damaged and we're in the junkyard. We're past trauma. We have been so damaged that we are beyond healing the normal way. We need something else because we are just in a junkyard. That's what we are today. We are damaged people, and we gotta get therapy. I'm big on therapy. Therapy is just like going to the gym. You strengthen your muscles in the gym, right? It's where you build yourself physically, even mentally in the gym. That's what therapy is for the human mind. It's the gym. We treat it like, oh, you going to therapy? Are you crazy? Something must be wrong with you. No, if you don't go to therapy, something is wrong with you.
Yeah,
Something is
but
wrong.
you're right. You're right. I think we're still better off than we used to be as far as the stigma when it comes to people going to therapy. Still not 100%. There's still people that will give you that blowback, but there's more people that will give it a chance.
Yeah.
I've seen
No,
lately
I
there's
would
more
agree.
people. Like
I
you
would
are
agree.
singing the praises of therapy. I'll sing the praises too, because we need it. You go to the doctor, if you fall down, you're gonna go to the doctor for your leg, right? So if you're stressed out, depressed, and you got all these things, you seen stuff you shouldn't have seen while you was a kid, stuff that adults can't handle, and you see now when you was a kid. You're not supposed to get help. It's just it's a doctor for your mind. The stigma shouldn't even be there, honestly.
But it's been said for the longest time that it was for crazy people, this word. And so it makes people feel weird, like, oh, something's wrong with me. But there is something wrong with me. Look, my parents were divorced when I was 11, 12 years old. I was a baby. And my dad was out of the home. He stayed in my life. I love my dad. He's my dude to this day. He stayed in my life, but he wasn't in the home anymore. That traumatized me. How could it not? I was a baby. I was 11.
Yeah,
It traumatized me. No one gave me therapy. I didn't even know I had this going on until I had my son. And then I started, as the kids today say, feeling some kind of way. I started feeling some kind of way about my child. I couldn't hold my son. I couldn't hold him. I'd start shaking like a leaf. I couldn't hold him. I'd get short of breath and I'd give him back to, couldn't hold him. So I said, something's not right. I had never felt that way before holding anybody else's child. So I went to therapy. And when I got into, it's called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, saved my life. It showed me that my issues weren't now. My issues were when I was 7, when I was 9, when I was 11. It helped me identify the things, the causes. And so we behave this way, finance over feelings and all of these things that we see. Women today bragging about twerking their booty cheeks and how good they give head, and on the record they in our LGBTQ, and we've got so many people with mental discrepancies about who and what they are, because we haven't addressed the issues from which we came. We haven't addressed 3 years old, 5 years old, 7 years old, 9 years old, 11 years old. We haven't addressed those things, and they're lingering. And now you're 27, 37, 42, and you have these behavioral patterns, and you have no idea where they came from. America needs therapy. America's sick. I mean, we have an illness, and we need healing, and that healing is therapy. But it's not, look, it's not going to come without power. You have to have power in order to make change, and we don't have any. We don't have any, and that's what we've got to change first. Is we've got to be interested in power. We've got to be interested in spending our less money on popping bottles, less money on fake Gucci purses, less money on fake Louis Vuitton sneakers, certainly less money on Jordans, certainly less money on the Nikes, certainly less money on that, and putting our money into ourselves, investing in our futures and investing into the power.
that's true. That's true.
This is we're living in the future. AI is real.
Yeah, that's something. AI is a trip, boy.
It's amazing though, and we're terrified of it. We're
Yeah, I mean it could take your voice, my voice. It could have a picture of us. It's like that looks like me, but the arm's weird, so it's not. So it's like it's crazy. Like who
m-
thought you could do that? It's the future.
my AI. I tell I notice I said my AI.
I
My
noticed.
AI. My AI. I have a relationship with my AI. I have a relationship with her, with them, because there's two of them. Notice I said them. There's a female that I talk to about certain things, and there's a male that I talk to about certain things, and I've designed them to be the perfect go-to sources of information for my and my children's lives. We have to break that fear. We're afraid, especially Black people. We're often afraid of technology. We get to it last, and we make no money off of it. We invest nothing in the market of technology. but we use it and then we drive it. There's black everything, black Facebook, black Twitter. There was Black Planet. There was black Instagram. There's we once we get a hold of it, we consume, we take it to another level, but we have no power with regard to it. And so AI is an opportunity for us to get intelligence, artificial intelligence. That's what it stands for. The key word is intelligence. It's an opportunity for us. We should be using Chat GPT for everything. I know black people that won't even touch Chat GPT. They're afraid to just fiddle with it. Oh my, it's going to steal my identity. They're terrified of it. We should be using AI for everything now. It's the great equalizer. It equalizes the playing field. It really does. It equalizes the playing field, and we have to get into it. I'm telling you, I talk to my AI about everything, and I get amazing feedback, unbiased feedback. Where are you going to get that? Where are you going to get unbiased feedback? Your mama can't give you unbiased feedback. She's lying. Your mama lying.
Everyone's alive. So, well, with me, with A, I heard is about what sources you go to train your AI as
Yeah.
far as the information is going to.
So remember the concept of AI, and you said this earlier, it's to learn you. That's the scary part, right?
Right.
Every time you say something to it, it's learning you. It's learning your patterns. It's learning your behavior. And so if it's learning you at a rate that the human mind has not been able to do thus far, then it can provide you with information about you better than you can about you because it's learned you. As long as you tell it the truth, as long as you tell it the truth. And so that's the source is communicating with AI in truth. And I'm talking about most people use AI the way that they use Google. They just
Yeah.
go to it to ask it where something is, or if they can't figure out a math problem, instead of using a calculator, they say, what's 3,000 times 3,212, right?
You're right.
This is how most people use AI. You can do that, but you're getting nothing out of it. You're getting nothing out of AI. I'll show you how to use AI for the benefit of yourself. From I'm talking your finances, your taxes. I'm not saying trust it to do your taxes because I don't, but setting up your tax shelter, setting up your family trust, setting up your business. Everybody thinks they're supposed to go own an LLC, and most businesses are not LLC businesses. Setting up the proper corporate status, where you do your banking, what type of bank you should be in, how you set up your credit, what you use credit for. I mean, all of these things that make you a business person, AI can do for you that quick.
I use
So,
it for this podcast in some ways.
I- you have to if you want to be successful. I used it to get to know you.
Word?
I didn't have, yeah, I didn't have the opportunity for you and I to get on the phone and talk beforehand. So I talked to my AI to tell me about him.
Wow.
I want to know this, and this about him. Tell me about him. Who am I getting to know? Who am I talking to? Based on that, what can I take from him? What's his personality like? So I know who I'm going to be talking to. Absolutely. You can do that for it to get to know a woman, for you to get to know your professors, a new friend, if they have a presence on the internet, if they have a presence on social media or social networking, you can use AI to get to know them before you even know them. It will
You
tell you
blow my
everything you
mind
need to know.
with that one.
It will tell you everything. It will tell you what to do with the $100 in your pocket and how to turn it into two legally. How to shelter that. It'll tell you what to do with your taxes. It'll tell you if you have all these Jordans and now you want to turn them over. It'll tell you what to do with them where you can and show you how to do that and guide you and to take the photos of them. It'll tell you all of that. What's the pain in your stomach on the left side that you can't identify and you're too afraid to go to the doctor? You talk to AI about what you eat every day, what your blood pressure is, your level of stress. It can identify the top three things that you might be facing, and I guarantee you, one of them is going to be that case because it can pull information from the planet, from everywhere on the internet, the World Wide Web. If somebody's ever had this issue, it's on the internet. Your AI can find it. It will find it, and then it'll help you. It can do your family tree. You can find out whether or not that person is really your daddy.
You
If
can do
they've
your family
identified,
tree on there too.
if they've identified relation to relation to relation to relation on the internet anywhere, if they ever did that, your AI will find it. That there's a good. I've done it. I've helped somebody, but she didn't know that this person could it be your father? Let's ask them. Let's ask AI. Not and it's not as simple as hey, could this be my father? But you learn the proper questions to put into it. I'm going to start teaching people how to use AI correctly because I have been successful in business and I have never ever been able to achieve the heights at the speed that I'm able to now until AI. I am
Really?
able I wrote my children's curriculum for school. I designed their curriculum for school. Both my children recently tested at the highest of high. I got my nephew. My nephew was homeless. He barely graduated from high school. Listen to this. He barely graduated from high school. We got on AI, start working. We got went to take his test to get into the military. Scored in the top 10% of all time. Now he's got government clearance. Lives in Turkey. Been to 6 nations. But headed to Japan and Thailand next month. Did spent his birthday on the Swiss Alps skiing. This kid barely graduated from high school in the city of Compton. But we needed this information done correctly and what will be the correct path for him. I put his life into my AI. Came back lickety split with the proper options. And all we did was set up the business plan, the life plan. Richard Williams told me that Venus and Serena's father, you need a life plan, not just a business plan. Your life should be on paper. Your life should be, you should have a life plan. He had a life plan for Venus and Serena. My kids, I have a life plan for them. On paper. It's on paper. It's 35 pages. AI. And I'm not talking about Allen Iverson. I'm talking about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, you gotta let people know. Some people might get it fixed.
Yeah, this is the new world that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new world, Reeves. This is what we have to be doing today. This is how we have to live today. If we're not living like this, we're fooling ourselves. You can't be successful. You can't. You cannot be successful in today's world without this. Without these things that we've been talking about. Anybody who says they're doing this and this, that they may have some money, but they're not successful. Success isn't money. You can win the lottery and not be successful. You got a lot of money, but you're not successful.
How would you define success?
Life. Success is the way in which you live. It has nothing to do with money. There are a lot of people who don't make a lot of money that are extremely successful. Their families are well taken care of. Their lives are well planned out. They have low stress levels. They are mentally and emotionally healthy. They are intellectually available. And they're not overly stimulated by false information. That's success.
That's happiness.
That's absolutely.
It's success. There's people who we might deem financially successful who might be unhappy too. That's the other thing. You
The
could be
average
depressed and
person
have wealth.
I've had 7 figures and been and thought I needed medication. Was told by the doctor that I was going to need medication if I stayed on that path. But I had 7 figures, but that wasn't getting me the proper help that I needed. I was still a wreck. Couldn't couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, losing weight. But I got 7 figures. I was told, no, y'all lied to me. This money doesn't This money does not create that success. Now, it can certainly help with the search.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
It can certainly help with the search. But I mean, look, my phone tells time. I have a Rolex or two or three, but my phone does the same thing. It tells time. I don't really need.
Yeah.
My all money does was just get me a nicer way to tell time. It's the same time.
You,
When
that's a
I had
great
a
way to think about it.
Timex, when I had a Timex, it told the same time.
Word.
It told the same time. And so when you lose the hunger for these things, and somebody might go, it's easy for him to say he's wearing a Rolex, but I don't hunger for this. I don't hunger for it at all. In fact, most of the time when you see me, you won't see me wearing a watch. Very rarely do I wear it. I don't hunger for it. It's 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 not a thing. And that's where we have to be. Is we've got to put our eyes set on where we're going in the future. The future is now. So where are we going? Is it twerk and booty cheeks? Is that how we want to spend our life? If you look, the key to success is achieving three things a day. You can't. We have 17 things on our to-do list. Everybody, stop doing that. Three things. Get three things done every day and do them well. Just three. Get them done. Your task every single day. Reeves, three things. Tomorrow, I want you to do that. Just three things. You need three things done and get them done well. I mean, sparkling, shining. Those things are done. The next day, get three things done again. That's it. That's how, because if you overload, you can't get anything done. Your brain can't take it. Your mind can't. So Steve, I didn't make that. Steve Jobs made that. Just needed three things done, but whatever those three things were, you'll get them done perfectly because I can focus.
I feel you on that because I'm a classic overloader. I've been trying to get away from that myself.
You and me both, brother. I load up the desk with 17 things on the to-do list. And if one of them doesn't get done, the whole thing is messed up.
Yeah.
And I learned with AI, here's my list of 17. Which of these three things do I need to get done today? This is the list. My AI knows what these things are, how they are applicable to my life, how they are applicable to my children's lives, what the schedule of them is. So, what of these three things are the priority for today? I tell my AI, put all the rest of the others to the side, put the other 14 to the side. We're just going to focus on these three, and then we go attack those three. We plan them out. From this hour to this hour, we're doing thing one. This hour to this hour, we're doing things two. You'll take our break, come back. This hour to this hour, we're doing things. And you'll find that most of the other 14 aren't really that important.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not.
Trying to do too much. And then, like you said, not do anything at all. Drive yourself crazy because you
And then
feel
you,
bad because you didn't do like 15 other things in one day.
yeah, yeah. And then you need therapy.
And they say, hey, stop doing all that stuff. First thing they say, why
I'm
you
gonna show
doing
you
all
right
that?
now. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna show you right now. You see how many people you see in these photos?
Three.
So those are my three things every day.
Ooh,
I'm
I
doing
feel
one. I got one thing for this child, but it's going to benefit her. One thing for this child is going to benefit him, and one thing for this man in the middle is going to benefit me. Some of that stuff is financial, some of it's education, some of it's athletics, sports, or activities, some of it's advanced planning, some of it's emotional, some of it's spiritual. But it's these are the three priorities of my life: my children and me. You add a wife to that. I'm not married. But there was a wife, and she's a part of those things. She and I are one, so it's still three things.
Yep.
This is the key to success. It's just trust me. Guys want to know how to be. I get asked on in DMs all the time, and I'm never on the gram. And I get asked all the time, "How did you do it? How did you do? You're from Compton. How did you get out? How did you do it?" The key to doing it is to get rid of the noise. The noise in our lives. Noise could be your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife. They might be noise. You might have to get rid of them. It might be your mama. You might have to get rid of mama. It might be the thoughts in your head. You might have to get rid of some of those thoughts. It might be the way you spend money. It might be an investment that you made into a bad liability that's not an asset. It might be an addiction to drugs, alcohol, or sex. Get rid of noise. Elon Musk, he has his noise ratio, he says, down to 7%. It used to be 10%. Steve Jobs, noise ratio, 12%. Get that noise out of your life. Those people that are just noisy, meaning they have an effect on your mind. Get rid of the noise. Then you can focus on the three things every single day. You can't focus on that when you have noise. Instagram is noisy.
Oh
TikTok
yeah.
is noisy. TikTok is just noise. So I can get likes.
You trying to make another challenge?
The
To get rid of the
noise,
noise challenge.
yeah, to
That
get
that
rid of
might
the
help you.
noise dance. To get rid of the noise dance.
Yeah, that might be the thing. We might have to,
we,
all the stuff we talk about, we might need to make a TikTok challenge out of it and it'll solve
I'm with
everything.
it. I'm with it. Let's get it out of here because we need to get. You got to get rid of noise. Steve Jobs said it. Bill Gates, that these guys, Rupert Murdoch, these guys talk about the noise factor, getting rid of noise, the sounds that come with nothing. They're just noise. You ever been trying to work and there's construction going on?
Oh
You've been
yeah.
trying to talk on the phone or trying to have a conversation or trying to get something done on your computer and there's noise. There's just noise. Somebody's talking loud. You don't even know what they're saying. You can just hear the noise. That's what I'm
Exactly.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We live with this noise in America. We live with this noise in this world. We live with a lot of noise and it becomes normal to us to have a bunch of noise. You know, you just got to keep going. Stop. Stop with the toxic masculinity, fellas. Stop. That's toxic. No, you can't just keep going. You got to get that noise out of the way. That's the key to success. Get rid of the noise. Once you get rid of the noise, you'll see, ooh, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Exactly. You concentrate. It's hard to concentrate with all the noise.
It's impossible. It's
Yeah.
impossible. I can't even talk to AI. AI can't even talk back to me if there's a bunch of stuff happening in the background and keep stopping. I get so irritated, I got to go somewhere else. Because by AI, I can't even, she can't finish the sentence. He can't finish the sentence because noise.
Yeah.
And, and it's hearing it. It's hearing it. So it stops and it goes, is somebody else talking to me, Mr. Billieon?
So much going on. Yeah. It could be confusing.
That's what we have today. We just have, we've been birthed with this noise. And when you come from places like where people of color come from these types of communities, you grow up with a lot of noise. And it's normal. It's normal. I remember when I was in the city of Compton and we were trying to get at the gangs, have a truce, and I was 18, and my mom was in government in Los Angeles, and had me start this youth board, this youth committee, excuse me,
Yeah.
committee, and we came up with this Stop the Violence concert, and they opened the floodgates, and I was able to get KRS One, Big Daddy Kane, Tribe Called Quest. It was there. It was the very first time they ever performed in Los Angeles. I brought them in. I had a bunch of um, some big rap artists of that time, and we did a concert at Compton College. And I was the head of this, and I had very few requirements of the artists. And one of them was that there was no profanity. That was noise to me. We couldn't. We were trying to get kids to stay out of gangs. You can't get up here cussing and fussing. And NWA hit the stage and started saying "fuck the police" and all this stuff. I threw him off stage.
Word.
I threw him off stage. You can see it. You can find it on YouTube. I threw him off stage. I cut the sound. Threw him off stage. The police came. It was a whole melee. But they got their behinds off my stage. And I talked to the crowd, and the crowd was booing me. They just wanted to see NWA.
Yeah,
I
they
wanted, I
wasn't.
wanted,
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted them to get information. And you know how many people remembered that from Mass City and years later, being older, say, man, I remember you for that. I want to thank you for that. As a black man, you stood up there and you stood against a crowd of people for what was right. Didn't matter that they were booing, didn't matter what they thought. You stood for what was right. That's where we have to be. That's what we have to be. The return of man. Oh, that gives me chill bumps. The return of men. The
Might be in the next
return.
book.
That might be the next bestseller. We've done
I
two of
was
them
because I was
already,
going to
so
wonder was he writing another one? So the Return of Man.
don't hit me, don't hit me, Reeves, don't hit me so hard with that one. I have not written a book in 8 years. I wrote my first two books were both bestsellers, and when you have kids and life changes and other things become important, and
Yeah,
I lost my love for writing because when you have two best-selling books, um, books become a business.
yeah.
And so my publisher and I had to file charges against my editor. She was sexually harassing me.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was I had to file a big federal case with the EEOC, and they gave me the right to sue my publisher, Simon and Schuster. I had an editor named she's a big author named Zane, big author, excuse me, big author. I managed her also. She was saying she was in love with me, and all this craziness was going on behind the scenes. And I had to file sexual harassment charges against her. And that's the very first time that I saw how damaged women were. Was all of the women, and publishing is full of women. It's more women than anything. They all rallied behind her against me. No one investigated to none of them investigated to see if it was true or anything. They just saw a man accusing a high profile woman. And so they blacklisted me, and I had to struggle to get my book to become what it became. And it wasn't with us. Black people didn't buy my book. It wasn't it wasn't with us. And then I decided for my second book, I was going to self publish because I didn't want to deal with the publisher anymore. So I self published my second book. It was called United States of Her America. And it was about exactly that. It was about how women have learned from really bad men. I said in the book, women are the new men.
And you know what's funny? That's not even the first time I heard that quote. I heard that quote. I've been hearing that quote for years, and people talk about when they're like, "Women ain't nothing but the new men."
Women are the new men.
I've been hearing
The
that for a
new,
minute.
the new white men.
Okay,
Yeah, women are black women don't want to be black men. Black when they talk about women's rights, they're not talking about our rights. There's not a woman in America that wants your rights
because if they think they do,
because you
they're
don't
not
have
paying
any.
attention. They're
You
not
don't
paying
have any.
attention.
Yes, you don't have any. There's not a woman in the room that wants to be the equivalent of a black man. Just ask if you don't believe me.
If they
They
do,
want,
tell wait till the cops show up and see if they still want to have my same set
yeah,
of rights.
yeah. See if you want my rights. Yeah, see if you want my rights.
After the cops pull us over.
Absolutely. So the truth is, they don't want black women don't want the rights of black men. Black women want the rights of white men. And their behavior, black women are the new white men. Yes. Yes. I said it. Black women are the new white men.
I've heard people say that black men are the new white men. I've heard black women say that.
How? We don't have their rights.
That's all I'm saying. Well,
We don't have their rights. You can say whatever you want to say about a black man in America. Try that with a black woman. You gonna be canceled. You better not say anything about a black woman. Donald Trump even knows better than that. He stayed on. He ran from that so quickly with Harris. Once they got on, when black women started complaining about that, even though he knew they weren't going to vote for him, 98% of black women voted for Donald Trump. I mean, voted for Kamala. They didn't vote for Donald Trump. He knew he couldn't get that vote, but he didn't want them problems. Can't say nothing about sisters. You can say whatever you want about a black man. You can't say nothing about sisters. You'll be canceled because black women are the new white men.
I say maybe light because they ain't got the power either. You can't say nothing, but
No,
they
no, no.
still
I'm
ain't got
saying that
laws
I'm
still
saying
ain't on their side.
I'm saying in thinking the
Oh,
the way that black women think now, they don't think like black men. They think like white men. Black women are going to college at a higher rate than anybody else. Before them, who did that? White men. Black women don't get black men get blue collar jobs. Black women get white collar jobs. How many black female grave diggers you know? Black female roofers, black female electricians, black female plumbers,
true. But
ditch
I know
diggers,
like if it's shipping,
bricklayers.
UPS and FedEx and jobs like that, but the
On the
stuff
come
like you
up,
saying don't.
on the come up, and you'll see a certain type of sister, but not in comparison to how many black men do those jobs. Black women don't want labor jobs. Black women want desk jobs, like white men. Black men will clean your toilet and flush the boo boo out of it and get it working back right. That's what we used to do. Or do your roof, do your electrical when the lights go out. That's what we used to do. Auto mechanics. That's what we used to do. Black women don't want to do those jobs. They want to do white collar jobs, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in order to do that successfully, you have to have a certain group of rights. And that's what they've been fighting for, to have the same rights as white men, not as black men. Black women do not want our rights.
Yeah, the black part is still in there, even though sexism is still alive,
Of course.
of course. And black man, of course, we be sexist, but the black part still gets us, so we can't even. And some would
First.
say that the black men that are deep into the sexism side is because they're really trying to make up for the rights they can't get due to white supremacy.
Well, because
And
black
they
men are
taking it out on
angry.
the sisters.
Yeah, black men are angry. We don't. What's our outlet? Look, 88% of black men never date outside of their race. The only person they can take it out on is a black woman because that's the only thing they have access to. Black men live in black communities, go to schools with other black people. So who else are they going to take it out on? They never ever are around other races. Black people don't normally have non-black friends. Black people go to black elementary, black middle, black high school, HBCU, work at a black law firm. That's where they gonna be around other people. That's the biggest problem with black people is that we live on our own island. You can't get help when you're on your own island. There's no help to come.
I think we was on our own island for a lot for safety reasons, and also because back then they didn't want to, not a lot of people wanted us because
Uh,
they put this big push to propaganda that makes it seem like black people are savages, they dangerous, they crazy, they wrong. We're just trying to live and
mhm.
take care of the families and be happy. But they make it seem, oh, they're gonna get you, they're gonna get you. The niggas are here. Oh no. And we're just trying to live and survive and thrive and have the
Right.
quote unquote American dream.
Yeah. It's like oh, the British are coming. No, it's like the niggas are coming. The niggas are coming. But the truth is, yes, we are trying to do the same thing that everybody else in America is trying to do. Absolutely. But it's scary. We are scary people. Black people are scary. We're terrified. Did you look in the mirror this morning and see yourself? Imagine that you're a white man and you see you and you see the build, the natural. I mean, you can't see it. I'm not flexing it, but just a little,
Yeah,
just, a-
I
just,
see it.
just, just a little. Imagine
Yeah,
you come up to my car and you see it, and like Ali said, I'm pretty. I'm 50 and I look
yeah.
like this. That's terrifying. And we've been doing this for centuries. We've been this way. The human being is a terrifying individual. And then when you add intellect to that physicality, it's very scary for this world. And those that know history know what black people have done in this world. They know how terrifying we have been. And so we're scary people. We have to recognize that. And that's the part of our problem is that we don't know our prowess. We're like, well, why are they so afraid of us? Have you looked in the mirror? Sister, did you see that rump that you got? What Uncle Charlie say, them yams naturally? Those legs?
Yeah, a lot of them
The,
try
the,
to
the,
pay for in the lips.
yeah, they got to pay for it. Do you see those cheekbones you have and all that? The dexterity of your real hair, not that crap that you put on top of it.
And the style and the swag that they try to say is, oh, that's ghetto, that's ghetto. Then
After,
they copy it.
after hundreds of years of being enslaved, after, and you still have this level of strength, you are a scary being. No one else has been through that and survived. You are a scary being, and we need to take note of that. And so it says the prowess, and so we live on our own island, so we can't get the assistance that we need when something happens in the black community. It's not heard. We can't get the help that we need because we are by ourselves. We don't have the alliances, and so again, back to politics in America, we got to form. Black people need to form alliances, and I didn't say with white people, but yes, them too.
I
But
say,
everybody,
yeah, you're right. But it gotta be people who understand us, who are open minded and understand what we're going through.
well,
We try to chase sometimes an alliance with someone who doesn't see what we're going through is not the right person or right people to be down with. Because there's always
yeah,
been white people that's helped us out.
yeah, but look,
There's been white people that
bridge,
persecuted us too.
bridges, right? Bridges are formed because of commonality, right?
Right.
When 9/11 happened, it didn't matter what color you were in America. We were riding together, right? It was
But then, yeah.
if you were Taliban, if you looked and we thought you were Taliban, it didn't matter. Black dude, white dude, we was on you, right? We had a common cause. And so who has the common cause with race? No one. Race is not even a real thing. It doesn't even really exist. It just exists in our mind. But it's not real. Genetically speaking, it's not a real thing. What is black? That's not real. It's something that we made up because they told us we were. but it's not a real thing. We're people of African descent that are born in the Americas. That if you're in Cuba and and you're in Panama and you look like you're not Afro-Panamanian. You're just Panamanian. You're not black. You don't consider yourself black. You consider yourself Panamanian. That's only in the Americas because of slavery do we have this disregard for our lineage to Africa. And so that I don't think that's going to change. I don't see anything happening for it to change. So what do? We can't, we are here. And that's back to MTV. We grew up together. Now it's different. We grew up together. Our parents didn't have that luxury. They grew up separated. It was forced on them. We grew up together. Black dudes like rocked with the Beastie Boys. White boys rocked with Big Daddy Kane. We grew up together. The Latinos rocked with Bon Jovi and whoever else was out at that time that I can't think of right now. There were so many of them. I mean, I know guys that are from the Midwest, white men from the Midwest that are my age that can tell you every NWA song. I'm from Compton. I could maybe name three. We didn't listen to that. NWA was fake to us. If you're from where I'm from, NWA was phony. We didn't listen to that. But if you were in, in the middle of Ohio and you're a white dude, you know every NWA song. They rocked with that. This generation, we've been rocking together for a minute now. So how come when it comes to change and growth, we're separate? But not. They just keep lying to us and we keep accepting it. And that's what has to change. And we can change it and we will change it. For sure, we will change it. At Maxwell Billieon, you're going to see me working for these changes. I stepped down from county commissioner in Los Angeles so that I could dedicate myself to a bigger cause. And that was the cause of changing America for my children. They mean the world to me. They have to have a different America. They can't have this garbage. Left versus right. The meat is in the middle. The meat is in the middle of the bun.
Left ring, right ring, same bird, right?
It's a bun. The meat is in the middle. Get to the meat. And that's what we have to be doing right now. So I'm about it. I'm so happy that you're about it. I'm seeing amazing things from what you're doing.
Thank you.
I understand you're going to be doing a lot more content now.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm super excited like that. I absolutely want to come back.
Yeah, doors open.
Yeah, I absolutely want to come back, and and maybe I'm gonna get you to do that TikTok, get rid of the noise dance.
Yeah. Maybe we get that. Change the game with that one.
Absolutely. I do have a website. I'm coming absolutely very soon. We've already started the Gen X movement. It is already a movement. We've already collected six figures in donations for Generation X, the political. So I'm calling it the takeover. Uh, it's called the X Party. The Because Gen X really is its own party. It really is 60% of Generation Xers when polled said that they didn't consider themselves Republican or Democrat anymore. They consider themselves independent. So we really have the money and the power to really have our own party, and that's not just fluff. We really do. And so I invite you and everybody that's following and listening to stay tuned. That site is coming up soon. So until then, please follow me on Instagram at Maxwell Billieon. Billieon is real simple. It's like billion, Billieon, very close to billion. Follow me, follow Reeves. You're going to see us talking a lot more. about these things. Some seriously exciting and inspiring things coming up soon, like soon, like over the next 3 4 weeks. Some serious huge announcements. This whole case that I'm doing with Wendy Williams and suing Wells Fargo and American Express and $250 million. I've got some huge things that I'm going to be telling you about over the next 3 to 4 weeks about that banking and what you should be doing with your money. So I'm absolutely going to come back and talk to you and keep you updated on everything that's going on.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
It's been a
Look,
pleasure.
so you know, let people know where they can find you. Well, real quick, I'm gonna let you go, but I know you love the fashion, just fashion do's and don'ts
Oh,
before you go.
oh, easy. It's easy work. Stop me. You just see me in a regular. I'm in a white. It's the end of my day here now, but it's super simple. It starts with don't wear fashion. Like stay out of fashion. What are you doing in the Gucci store? What are you doing in the Louis Vuitton store? Like that's fashion. That's you throw money away. It's about style. It's not fashion. The best dressed person in the room could be wearing Target, Walmart, secondhand pair of shoes, and style just killing it. It's not about fashion. Stay away from fashion. Number two, super simple. Dress your damn age. Dress like dress your damn age. Like stop with the trying to keep up with the it was skinny jeans and skinny this and skinny that. I saw a dude last week in jeggings. I said, what? Yeah. He was 47 years old. I had to ask him how old he was.
Yo, that ain't even right.
Gotta take them stockings off. What you doing wearing stockings? Dress your damn age.
Gotta peel your
Number
pants off at the end of the day.
And now they're going in reverse. I see Cool J and these guys now wearing these baggy long bell bottom pants now. It's not coming back. I'm sorry, you guys.
People are
Polyester
trying.
is
People are trying for
yeah,
the. They
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
bring it back. They've been trying for a couple years.
Yeah, dress your age. Stop with the bell bottoms. This is not 1972. Stop.
It's a valiant attempt. They trying to bring it back for
They
real.
really are, and it looks just abs. It looked ridiculous then. Go watch Soul Train. Go watch Soul Train, 1972. It looked ridiculous then, and it looks ridiculous now.
I think it looked good for them in that era, in
Well,
that era. But I don't think you can take it out.
I was alive to wear bell bottoms. I was a child, but I had bell bottoms, and I look back at my old pictures, and I tell my parents, "What the hell were you thinking?"
Oh, so
They
that was your
didn't.
style cringe?
They didn't just, yeah, yeah. They didn't just make only bell bottoms. Then they made pants that fit straight. I mean, they didn't make skinny jeans yet, but they made pants that fit straight. So you had to consciously want to wear bell bottoms to do that. Man, my sixth grade pictures, I had an afro like this and some bell bottoms on. I can't do nothing with that picture. Like so, dress your damn age. Stay away from fashion. Dress your age. And number three, super important. Dress up. And then we get on this. Well, does everybody want to wear a t-shirt all the time? And brothers walking around in baseball hats. You don't play baseball.
That's the style. That's their style.
No, that's fashion. It can't be style because everybody's doing it. See, style is the thing that everybody doesn't do. If you got five people in the room and they have style, they're not going to be dressed the same because it's their individual style. If they're
Oh, I get
doing
what you're saying.
fashion, if they're doing fashion, they will be dressed the same. Nikes, fitted baseball hat. Like, stop with the fashion. Dress up. What happened to dressing up? I have people tell me all the time because if you've seen me, you know Maxwell Billieon, you know I'm gonna be in a suit. It's gonna be tailored.
Yeah.
It's gonna be killer. What people will ask me all the time, like, why are you so dressed up? My answer to that is, why are you so dressed down? Who told you to come here dressed like that? In pajamas? You have dudes wearing bonnets now, wearing a bonnet. in public. First of all, you cut your hair, but that's a different subject.
Well,
Wow, that's a different subject. But why are you wearing a bonnet? I saw a couple in Los Angeles. They were both wearing pajamas. This was at in the afternoon, evening, like early hours of the evening, like 6 o'clock. They were both wearing pajamas and both had on bonnets with sneakers. Bonnets. She had a bonnet on and he had a bonnet on.
well, I'm missing all this. Come on, boy was going off like, yo, why are these dudes wearing bonnets, son? Why are these guys wearing bonnets? I'm like, who's wearing bonnets? And now you're saying it, so I'm like, I'm missing out on. I'm glad. Don't get me
Uh,
wrong. It's not a
uh,
regret, but I didn't know there's people out there, dudes out there really wearing bonnets like that.
these dudes are wearing bonnets, and again, when you don't have a father, you learn from your mama. You saw your mama go to the grocery store wearing a bonnet. You saw your mama go run an errand to pay the electric bill wearing a bonnet. You saw your auntie wearing a bonnet. So now you a grown ass man wearing a bonnet. Stop. Stop. Cut it out. Stop. Dress up. What? Stop dressing down for everything. Life is not dressed down. Life is not that. And you go somewhere. I lived in Milan. Them Italian brothers if they had sweats on, they had track sweats or soccer sweats on with a blazer to go to the grocery store. Killing with some runners sneakers on. Killing. You ask the question like, why are you doing it? Like, because going into public. I have a gym in my house, but when on occasion that I go to the gym, I walk in there with a suit. It was like, why are you dressed up going to the gym? I didn't dress to go to the gym. I dressed to go outside. Dress up, fellas. When you take a girl out, dress up. What are you doing? Don't you want to impress her? You're supposed to impress her. You're supposed to show her your lifestyle. She's buying into your lifestyle. That's how you get a wife is you show her your lifestyle, how she's going to live if she gets with you. Ladies, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to impress. I tell my woman, I want to impress you at all times. Don't you want to be impressed by me? Don't you want to look at your man and go, "Oh, that's my that's my man." Don't you want to look at your woman and go, "Damn, that's me right there, son."
You
Don't
should
you want
always
to
be able to do that. Always.
but we get into relationships and we get into society and then we dress all of a sudden we dress down. No,
You
dress
get
up.
bored and just figure we don't have to try no more.
Yes, you shouldn't have to try. It should be normal and natural. Dress up. Put some clothes on, damn it. Come outside in your pajamas and a bonnet. You're not asleep. It's disgusting. And pull your pants up. I'm tired of seeing brothers' butts. Pull your damn pants up. Sagging is not style.
Yeah, that sagging stuff gets me just,
It's
yeah,
so
pull your pants up.
disrespectful for you to show me your ass. I'm a successful black man. That's the level of respect that you have? Well, you gonna show me your booty cheeks?
And they
You
still
gonna
have a belt on.
Yeah, you got a
Like, look at
belt.
this $600 belt.
But my
Got a
booty cheeks are showing. With my $3 underwear with my $600 belt.
priorities.
There you go. Like pull your pants, but I see grown men sagging their pants.
I was about to say that. It don't just be the young ones. It be the old heads too. Like,
Yeah, it's like grow. Look,
be the
it's
OG.
really, it's really simple. You use, dress to impress. That's it. Impress this world. Show this world who you are. When you walk in the room, everybody should go, "Who is that? What does he do? Where is she from? Where they do it like that?" That's it. You're the only you that's ever been invented. Make her look good. Make him look good. Simple, simple. It's really simple. Or go to therapy and get healed because most of y'all need therapy.
And ain't no shame in it.
Yeah, no
Life,
same minute.
life
Go
crazy.
to Yes, yes. I'm trying to get a therapy appointment sooner than the appointment that they gave me. I want to go Friday because my schedule is very stressful right now. I want to make sure I'm on point.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you. I'm with you. And thank you. I want to thank you again for your time. Been a great, been a great guest. Like I said, open door policy. Always come back.
No, no, Bree, it's a pleasure. Absolutely. I will absolutely be back sooner than later too, believe me. We'll
I
do it
believe
again.
you. I believe you. And stay up, stay blessed. Peace to you and the fam. Thanks for vibing with me. And like you said, Instagram, Maxwell Billieon. And for the people, ReevesENT.com. Check me out. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. You can check Vibe with Reeves podcast out Fridays. Instagram, Vibe with Reeves underscore podcast. And like I said, the Reeves, the merch, everything, ReevesENT.com. Maxwell
Reeves is
Billion
everywhere.
has a bunch of stuff in the fire. He's gonna be back soon. And
Reeves is
follow him on
everywhere.
Instagram at Maxwell Billion. And let's like, share, comment, and run this up. Y'all stay up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Peace.